YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, and I've got a battle against FG Pokapax. I've seen him play before in Total War. He's good, and so he probably didn't recognize me though because I was running under an alias here. And I don't know if he'd recognize me anyway, but I was like, I knew I was in for a good game here. He picked the Greenskins, and so I'm sitting here thinking in my head before the battle, what do I pick? And I was like, well, I kind of want to pick my Karl Franz Rush army because I feel pretty confident about it in most scenarios against the Greenskins, though there is stuff the Greenskins can do against it. So I picked that army, and then when I came to the load-in screen, said something about spiders. When I was loading in, I was like, oh crap. It's like he picked spiders, and that is totally the bane of this Rush army. Now, if he did recognize me, I think he would have known that there's a good chance I could pick this because I just made a video on it. Again, I don't know that this was the case, but if he did, picking the spiders was a brilliant move because this all-infantry army is poorly equipped to stop the spiders. You kind of need missiles. And if I did bring missiles to stop the spiders, I still kind of like his pick because he's got 2 Goblin Wolf Riders. These are very fast cavalry, and they're very good at being disruptive to crossbows and other units. Back in the very back, he deployed some Goblin Wolf Rider archers. These guys don't usually do a whole lot, but again, they're fast. And they can be a nice harassment force, and they can actually sometimes be useful against flying units too. I had a light wizard. I was going to see, I was like, let's see if Shim's Burning Gaze does any good against the spiders. It does not. So Pokapax's army is Savage Orcs up front. His second line is Biggins, which is great all-around unit. He's got 2 spiders, and then the Wolf Riders I pointed out. His commander is, he's got a Night Goblin Shaman there. And then I believe, yeah, he's got Azag right here. So he's got the Little Wa and the Lure of Death, which is a pretty potent combination. But I'm certainly worried about this fight. I just don't think that I have the killing power to handle the spiders. Not to mention, my micro is none too brilliant usually in a fight. Yeah, here comes the light wizard taking a shot at the spiders. Just shrugs it off. I mean, the spiders are not taking any damage. There's poor armor penetration from Shim's Burning Cheese, and it's just not gonna hurt the spiders. So I'm in bad shape here in terms of killing the spiders. If I use Karl Franz to try and help kill the spiders, he's gonna take immense damage. And then that leaves him open to Spirit Leeches from Azag and potential shots from the Night Goblin Shaman, who is pretty good at picking off flying units, especially wizards. I'm actually kind of surprised he hasn't tried to pick off my wizard yet with the Night Goblin Shaman. Here comes the spiders, folks. It's going to be a nasty, nasty fight, but the spiders, like I said, I get good armor piercing off of my swords, but the spider just has these area of effect attacks, and it just does immense damage to your infantry. Huge damage to the infantry. So I'm not worried about any of his infantry, but his infantry combined with the spiders does worry me. I get out here quickly and try and get rid of some of his Wolf Riders early. This also keeps my men away from his wizard. Let's see, I'm hitting him with some Shim's Burning Gaze right here to try and weaken Azag a little and maybe hopefully keep Azag busy. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm blobbing in everywhere, just trying to fight and win as many pockets as I can against the Savage Orcs, which I will do quite easily over here. A lot of my swordsmen and great swords will easily punch through, but the spiders are racking up kills at an alarming rate. That one had 40, and this one has 30 already. So I'm going to bring in Karl Franz. He takes his first Spirit Leech here. And I'm not liking that, so I'm going to go hunt down this this wizard I see back here because I saw him pop a shot at my wizard. I quickly moved and got lucky. It homed on me, but I got lucky and didn't get hit by that shot. But at this point, I kind of accidentally forget about my wizard after I fire that Shim's Burning Gaze. And I'm able to hit the Night Goblin Shaman here, and he's going to obviously die very quickly. He doesn't have a whole lot of protection back here, but that's a pretty cheap wizard. They're a great wizard to bring to the fight. You can see a swath just being torn through the center of my infantry. The spiders are taking some leadership penalties, and they're also definitely taking some damage, but I mean, they can do so much work. 69 kills, 74 kills. I'm going to bring in Franz here for a quick rear charge. I'm going to get these Savage Orcs broken, and then I'm going to just kind of keep Karl Franz moving around. I honestly probably should just go ahead and try and use Karl Franz to get some work done, but I can't because Azag is going to hit me with another Spirit Leech here. So I've got to go take care of Azag. I would like to use Karl to break up some other fights, but I just cannot let this happen right now. So we're going to take out Azag, but Pokapax has his archers working on my my flying units, which is great for him, and he's doing a lot of damage. Spiders racking up the kills, nearing 100 each. So my infantry is suffering terribly at the hands of these spiders, and the balance bar is about 50-50 right now. I did kill a shaman. It came back from routing, so he's going to be able to get more shots at me. And the only problem with a flying lord like Karl Franz is he does weird stuff like this, chasing routing units, where he tries to charge and then the animation just doesn't connect, so you kind of have to wait for him to land and charge. And in the meantime, Pokepax is going to pick up all these routing units and start coming back into combat, and I've got to watch out for his little cavalry units too, because they can pin me to the ground and allow his infantry to do some work against Franz. But I am able to get over here, almost attack, so Franz keeps missing his attacks because he's being fancy. But here we're going to finally get Azag, but I take a nasty shot from that Goblin Shaman in the process, so I'm going to have to swing over there and take him out. But because there's no support from Franz, his infantry combined with the spiders over here starts mopping up a lot of my great swords, and this starts to turn kind of sour for me over here, even though it initially started out great against this infantry. But again, his spiders mopping all this stuff up is a big problem, and I have completely forgotten about my light wizard at this point. I don't even, yeah, he's out here. So, yeah, well, no, he's chasing some Savage Orcs. Never mind, I sent him in for a rear charge, and then I forgot about him. So that was the case. The wizard starts running away. Azag came back. I can't afford to get Spirit Leeched again, and I don't know how much Winds of Magic he has, so I'm going to have to come back over here after Azag again. And I do land the charge on him, fortunately, and then I'm going to be able to finish him off here. I got a lot of Wolf Riders and other stuff after me, so I am taking some damage, but Azag gets dropped. It definitely hurts the Greenskin morale, but the spiders are winning the fight so decisively that it's going to be very hard to break their leadership. Again, especially while they're in concert with these biggins. They're going to be able to, I mean, just look at this. Absolutely mauling my poor Empire troops. His spiders actually, I mean, they've been very effective here. Later on, I notice my Light Wizard's back, and I try and use them to assist, and you'll just kind of see what happens. But, I mean, this fight's not over yet. I still have a chance if I can figure out a way to kill the spiders. This one starts routing. And with this thing routing, what I should have done here immediately is bring Franz in to chase it and continue to damage it so that it would be forced off the battlefield. But I didn't, and it's immediately gaining leadership back very quickly. And you can see this is the danger of Goblin and Greenskin units. Or Goblin and Orc units. They come back to the fight quickly. They'll lose their leadership, but they will turn around and charge right back into you, and they can still be combat effective. I'm regrouping all my men on this hill. I'm just trying to keep Karl Franz away from his Goblin Wolf Rider archers, and I'm going to kind of rest my men, regroup. My Light Wizard, I was like, oh, I'll just do a quick charge into his Goblin Wolf Riders, but they pinned me to the ground again. This is the danger of bringing a flying unit down, so this was a grave mistake for me to bring my Light Wizard down like this. He could have been useful later on, but he's pinned on the ground by all these fast-moving Wolf Riders, and this makes them pretty handy, if not just... This is one of the reasons that it can make them handy. Their speed allows them to keep up with the Pegasus, and it lets the Spider keep attacking the Pegasus, and I'm going to lose my Light Wizard. And I was typing funny stuff to him at this point. He didn't respond to me, but I was like, hey, don't eat my Wizard. He's such a nice guy. You know, just saying stupid stuff. At this point, I could tell that the battle was definitely not leaning in my favor. Throwing away the Light Wizard was not the most brilliant move I've made. Uses his cheap Wolf Riders to run down those great swords. Very nice move on his part. They'll come back, but there's only 9 of them left, so another good use for fast-moving units like this. So the Greenskins definitely do have some versatility, and you'll see here that his army pick was really it's really quite good. I like it. And if you think about the different Empire builds that I could have brought against him here, because again, the Empire is probably the most versatile faction in Total War Warhammer. I mean, the Greenskins really aren't terribly far behind them. They have lots of interesting stuff, and I like his army pick here. He had the Goblin Shaman, so he had the Lore of the Little Wa. These spiders are basically his infantry killing power. So if I, this was a good gamble. If I bring an all-infantry army, his spiders are going to devastate it. If I don't bring an all-infantry army, his spiders can still decimate my infantry. And in conjunction with the Savage Orcs, he's got, some nice units, and then the Biggins, same thing too. So if I bring some cavalry, he's got the Biggins to help slow down cavalry. And the spiders, against anything that's not Demigryph Knights with halberds, they can also help against that. But again, he's got his fast-moving Wolf Riders and other stuff. Lots of things to help against the... and the Night Goblin Shaman can be pretty handy against cavalry too with some of his spells. So there's a lot of versatility in this Greenskin army. And whereas his army has quite a bit of versatility, mine here is meant to kill a Greenskin infantry army. And Pokepax didn't really pick a Greenskin infantry army. He picked a much more varied one that had fast-moving cavalry and then like a combined arms, infantry, and monster approach. And then he brought his Lord on the ground, which was smart because he knew that I could potentially field Karl Franz and a Light Wizard, so he's making his Lord a tougher target, and again, just adding to the versatility by bringing the Night Goblin Shaman. So I like his pick. I can see it working well against multiple Empire armies, just because the spiders are not quickly killed, and they can punch through lines and get to skirmishers, and the Wolf Riders can also get to skirmishers, and skirmishers are one of the most reliable ways I've seen to kill spiders. It's just really, I don't know why it works so well, especially since they have such high armor, but it does work well. Check out his Wolf Riders charging my Spearmen here. Very nice quick hit and run that actually does shatter the Spearmen, and everything he does at this point is going to be hurting the balance bar. And once the balance bar hits a certain point, it's over for my men. So he's got me surrounded. I can't go out and challenge his flanks. I guess I could. I could send my spears out there to challenge his flanks. I don't know how much good it would do because I can't actually catch his cavalry. He's going to go ahead and start coming in. I'm going to have to send my greatswords in. I mean, there's no running away. I'm going to have to come fight. I used the charge resistance thing from Karl Franz to hopefully help. It only lasts for 12 seconds, but I don't even think charge resistance is going to matter when you get completely splattered by a giant poisonous spider. So yeah, my greatswords are getting wrecked. And I bring Franz in. I accidentally misclicked and flew a little too far. I meant to swing him around and try and use his Blood Roar to try and wreck morale, and I did get some morale hurt on some of his men, but it is just not enough. Again, you look at this spider, and when it's got the Blood Roar, but it's gonna be winning the combat. It's moving, it's feeling good because of all the enemies routing and stuff like that, and you can see his spiders just easily come in and finish me up. So it was a very fun fight. I appreciated this one. I had a good time playing against Pokepax. I knew I was gonna be up against a good player, so I brought what I knew to be a good army, and he brought a very nice, it wasn't a direct counter to what I brought. Well, I guess it kind of was. I don't know that he chose it as a direct counter. That'd be interesting to see. If he's watching the video, let me know what you were thinking when you picked your army. Were you trying to guess what I was going to bring, or anything else like that? But I mean, I like it. It was fun. Whenever I saw what he had brought, I was like, yeah, it's definitely going to be trouble. And it just goes to show that this game does have some imbalances in it, some stuff that I'd like to see fixed, but what it has that I like is at least some of the factions, not all of them, but at least some of them have this ability to play mind games with each other, and Empire and Greenskins is definitely one of those. I would say in general, like I would give the edge to the Empire in terms of versatility, but the Greenskins, like I said, they also have that versatility, and you can play some mind games there too. I was thinking about bringing a steam tank, and I don't know that would have worked out any better, because then I would have even less infantry. The steam tank would have been very good against any of these type of infantry, but it would have struggled against the spiders still. The spiders are good towards that kind of thing, and he could kind of rush the steam tank. From a distance, the steam tank would have done good damage with its cannon, but again, some missiles probably would have been the most reliable way to try and kill the spiders, but that means I would have had to rearrange some stuff, and my infantry line would have become much weaker. And demigriffs with halberds are also a viable choice, but the spiders can kind of try and retreat and stay around their orc biggins, and then a Fate of Biuna can also really mess up demigriff knights. So again, I think the Greenskins have a lot of fun tools to counter the Empire, and I think the Empire has a lot of fun tools to counter the Greenskins. What do you all think? What do you think about this matchup? How'd you like his pick? And do you think do you think I had a chance based on the fact that he picked the two spiders? I mean, I did miss Micro, my Light Wizard. Just kind of curious to see what you all think. HeirofCarthage signing out for now, and I'll be back with more battles in the near future.